My name is Cameron Fioret. I'm a third-year PhD candidate here, and I study ethics and justice of water commodification and distribution. I went to the University of Windsor for my undergrad, where I studied philosophy, and then I went to Western University studying philosophy as well for my master's. I love philosophy because it's a critical way to look at the world. It's really shaped my life in a way that I never could have thought back when I was an undergrad. I was inspired to study what I do study because of my experiences during my master's. I'm from Windsor, so I'm near Detroit, and Detroit was going through a water crisis in 2014, where people were unable to get water because they couldn't pay their bills. I thought this was an injustice, and I wanted to live in such a way as to make sure that problem never happened again. And when we're thinking about ownership of natural resources, whether it's water or another type of natural resource, we have to think about what's the best way to own it, what's the best way to distribute it, and what's the most just way of doing such things. And I can say unequivocally that life as a student is much better when you're involved in community activities, when you're working with students, getting involved. That's when you start to see your work really pay dividends. It's fun because you're interacting with like-minded individuals, students around your age. You get to experience university together, you get to hang out outside of university, you experience the city that you're living in. These are your formative years, and I can say that I've had a blast at the University of Guelph and throughout my education. My research has a mainly ethical normative focus, but of course I do look at geographical regions, and especially around the Guelph region. We have issues of water commodification in Aberfoyle, in Erin, issues of clean water access in First Nations communities around Guelph and in Canada. My research is focused on ethics and justice, but with an application to the real world. My time at the Aerial Food Institute was revolutionary. It really changed the trajectory of my academic career. It made my academic career focus a lot more on policy work and on activism. It led me to apply to the United Nations University last summer, where I was a researcher for them in Hamilton as well. So that experience in policy work and development at the Aerial Food Institute made me shift focus into not only focusing on academia, but also looking at alternative routes, that is, in policy and development work. And that took me to the United Nations University Institute for Water, Environment, and Health for undergrad students to get involved. Your university career will be much more fulfilling when you get involved in the school community, working with other students, volunteering your time, running clubs. I can say from experience that that's where you'll find most value. And to seek collaboration with professors in your field. You want to see where your academic career will go, and that starts with keeping in touch with professors, conversing with them, being committed to your studies, and seeing what makes you passionate.